Troubleshooting common licensing problems. Hello, my name is Brian Benton, and in this video we will take a look at troubleshooting common licensing problems with Autodesk products. We can't go over every possible licensing issue that you might encounter, but in this session we will highlight some of the most common problems that Autodesk sees in product support. Some of the topics that we're going to cover in this video will include understanding the debug log file. This is a very important file because it will show you where some of your problems might be hidden at. We will also take a look at environmental variables, the registry, and the lickpath.lic file. And then we will cover various server and network errors and their possible solutions that you could encounter. Understanding the debug log file. One important step in troubleshooting licensing problems in your Autodesk product is understanding the debug log file. This log file is one that you will refer to time and time again when performing diagnostics. What I'm showing here is an older log file, but the concepts remain the same today. Let's take a brief look at how to read the file. Event time. Every line starts with an event time indicating when those events happened. FlexNet version. Here is where you can see what version of FlexNet you are running. Verifying the version of FlexNet is very important. FlexNet versions change from release to release, and if you're troubleshooting in an environment where older products have been installed, you want to make sure that they are running the current version. License file in use. This line indicates that the license file is actually being read and is in use, so you want to verify that that is the case. Master daemon port in use. This line indicates the master daemon port that's running. In this instance, LMGRD is running port 27000. Vendor daemon port in use. You should always see the Autodesk vendor port running at port 2080. That port is registered to Autodesk, and that's the port we specify in license files that they provide. Option files in use. This line indicates that there is an options file running on the license server and it is being used. Features licensed on server. This line shows the feature code for products that are licensed in the license file that are running on the server. Options records. This line is showing an options record. In this case, it's a reserve option in the options file. Record of license denial. Near the bottom, we see an entry indicating that a license was denied to a user. This is likely due to restrictions set up in the options file. License checkout and check-in by client. Here are some examples of licenses that have been checked out and checked back in by a user. Now that's a brief view of the debug log. Understanding the contents of the debug file is the first step in diagnosing problems. So let's start looking at some licensing errors. Environmental variables, registry, lickpath.lic. Now you should understand the difference between the environment variables and the registry and the lickpath.lic file when it comes to how a client machine starts a network version of an Autodesk product and looks for a license. The issues usually present themselves like this. The license server is running and there are no errors in the debug log or server inquiry log. Some clients can pull a license but others cannot. Diagnostics. First, go to the client machine. Confirm where the product is looking for the license. There is an order of precedence when looking for a license. Number 1, the ADSK FLEX license file environment variable. If it exists, the NLM or the Network License Manager looks here first, and it looks something like this. If you have a single server, it will be at server name. Or in the case of multiple servers, it will list all of the servers' names at server 1, at server 2, at server 3. If the server is specified in that environment variable and not available or out of licenses, the client then reads into registry. Number 2, the Windows registry looks into these registry keys: HKey local machine, software, FlexLM license manager, ADSK FLEX license file. Number 3, it looks at LM license file environment variable, and it does this if number 1 and number 2 items here are not found. This option is the global FlexNet variable affecting all FlexNet clients of the publisher. It is not used by Autodesk. Item number 4, the lickpath.lic file. This is located in the root installation folder. So if the license is not found in any of these locations, you will get the license finder dialog box. Now let's take a look at some errors. Error 1.5.18. Server does not support this feature. Possible cause. It indicates that the product can find the licensed server, but that one of the following scenarios is present. There are no licenses left to issue. There are no licenses of that type in the license file. The license manager is not started and therefore cannot give licenses. Possible solutions. Check the debug log file and status inquiry to ensure that licenses are available for this client machine. If not, there are not enough licenses for use. Check the license file to ensure a license of the type needed or a suite product that can provide one is present. If not, request a corrected license file. Check the start inquiry to ensure the license manager is started. If not, run the LM Tools utility, navigate to the Start, Stop, Reread tab, and start the license manager. Additional information on this bug can be found at Autodesk's knowledge base website. Go to http://usa.autodesk.com/getdoc/ID equals TS1056448. It will have a full rundown of these issues and methods used to remedy them. Error 1.5.15 cannot connect to server. Possible cause. This could indicate that it could not find or did not have access to a valid license manager, and one of the following scenarios is possibly present. The Windows firewall on the server or client machine is blocking communication. The license manager server is not powered on or currently on the network. The client machine points to a server that no longer or possibly never existed. Possible solutions. Turn off the Windows firewall on both the server and the client machine, or create exceptions in the firewall for ports 2080 and ports 27000 through 27009. Confirm that the license manager is powered on and has access to the domain. Check the server the client machine is pointing to, or set an environment variable to force the server that products look to for a license. Additional information can be found in Autodesk's knowledge base. Go to the following website, http://usa.autodesk.com/getdoc/ID equals TS71257. Here we'll take a look at multiple network license manager errors. Error 1.5.96, error 1.5-97, error 1200.5.96, and error 1200.5.97. The network license manager was not able to get a valid license. Possible cause. The request for a license is taking too long for the client machine to identify, and one of the following scenarios is present. The use of a VPN connection, dial-up, or slow DSL or ISDN link. The traffic in the network is such that the bandwidth is diminished. Firewall or port filtering is blocking license manager traffic. Possible solutions. Ensure that ports 2080 and 27000 through 27009 are not being filtered or blocked. Create exceptions in the firewall for ports 2080 and 27000 through 27009. Set a FlexLM timeout environment variable to extend how long the client machine will take while requesting a license. Again, additional information can be found in Autodesk's knowledge base about this error and possible solutions. Go to http://usa.autodesk.com/getdoc/ID equals TS1057817. Adding non-Autodesk vendor daemons to the license manager. Issue. The use of other vendors is required in addition to Autodesk in the license manager. This happens for users from time to time that use third-party applications with their Autodesk product. Solution. Create another service for each vendor that will be using the license manager. A service for each vendor to be used will need to be created. For each vendor, the vendor daemon will need to be available. The Autodesk vendor daemon is adskflex.exe. A license file will be needed for each new vendor service created. Specifying a port for each vendor daemon will avoid conflicts if multiple daemons try to use the same port. Here is an example. Server name, some numbers 27001. You can find some additional information again in the Autodesk knowledge base, http://usa.autodesk.com/getdoc/ID equals TS67745. Now for error 1.5.14, Maximum number of users reached. Possible cause. All available licenses either are reserved for other users or are in use. Possible solutions. Add more licenses to the license manager. Modify the reservation of licenses in the options file. Close all of the sessions on one of the workstations currently using a license for the desired Autodesk product from that license server. Error 1.5-5. No such feature exists. Possible cause. The correct feature code does not exist in license file to support the product. Possible solutions. Ensure that the license file contains the expected feature code for your product. In a multiple license server environment, ensure that the product is looking to the correct license manager containing the right licenses. You can check the lickpath.lic file and ADSKFLEX license file environment variable. Ensure that the plist from the most recent license file exists in active license file. This only applies to 2009 products and earlier. You can check the LM tools and ensure server status shows available licenses without any errors. Error 1.5.-14. Bad server hostname and license file. Possible causes and solutions. The DNS name resolution issue where server hostname does not translate to correct IP address. DNS not working or is improperly configured. You need to contact your customer IT to correct this issue. Incorrect entry in local hosts file. You need to substitute the server IP address for the host name of the server in the lickpath.lic file. Error -5.412.0 and -4.132.0. Corrupted Cascade info.cas file. Issue. Error codes -5.412.0 or -4.132.0 are being displayed. The license transfer utility displays license is in use error message when no product is currently active. Possible cause. Corruption of the Cascade info.cas file. Solution. Locate and delete the Cascade info.cas file. In Windows XP, it should be found at /documents and settings /all users /application data /Autodesk /ADLM. In Windows 7 and 8, it should be found on /program data /Autodesk /ADLM. Restart the product and the Cascade info.cas file will automatically be regenerated. Error -15, 10. System error 10061 WinSock connection refused. Possible causes and solutions for this error are: the lmgrd.exe file has restricted file or folder permissions. Reconfigure the service using an account with adequate permissions. Non-supported platform. Ensure that the FlexNet is running on a supported platform. Third-party application is conflicting with your FlexNet licensing startup process. Identify and stop the conflicting service. Disable any active firewall. Ensure that ports 2080 and 27000-27009 are open and functional. Substitute your server IP address for the host name of the server in the lickpath.lic file. Problems with the options file. Issue. An options file has been added, but the settings are not taking effect. Solution. Stop and restart the license manager. Sometimes reread does not work, especially when you're first adding an option file to a server. Verify the name of the options file. The file name should be adskflex.opt. Verify that the license manager is using the options file by checking the debug log. Here's an entry example. 13:23:32 adskflex. Using option files, C:"program files, Autodesk Network License Manager /license/adskflex.opt. If using exclude _borrow or borrow _ low water statements, it's important to also add both the product and package feature codes. This is only needed if license file has a package increment. Problems after combining license files. Issue: you have problems after you've combined multiple licenses into a single license file. Possible solutions are: verify the license file contains the feature code for the product in use. Verify no formatting of the license file contents has occurred. This could be such as when using a word processor like Microsoft Word to edit the license file. Verify package licenses were not combined with non-package licenses for product versions contained in the package. Verify you combined all increments included in all license files. This includes plist increments for 2009 and earlier. Verify you did not combine two different increments for the exact same product. It will only use the most recent one. Request a new license file that contains the total number of seats for that product. So here we've taken a quick look at many of the common licensing problems faced by Autodesk product users. Of course, we can't cover every single problem that could possibly happen, and also keep in mind that these solutions should work, have been proven to work in certain situations, but there are a lot of errors that could possibly happen, and there are a lot of variables involved in those errors. Visit the Autodesk knowledge base as well for any further help.